Fireworks, symbols of joy, celebration, and festivity. But what happens when they turn into agents of disaster? On May 13, 2000, Enschede, Netherlands, was hit by one of the most devastating fireworks explosions in history. The relentless spirit of brave firefighters and police officers were the only hope in unexpected explosions and massive fire. Curious to know how it all happened? What could be the possible reason for this massive destruction? The illegally operated storage facility for SE fireworks in the city? Let's dive deep into this tragic story, retracing the steps of the brave policeman who gave up his everything for the sake of humanity. Don't forget to hit those like and subscribe buttons to keep up with our latest content. The Enschede fireworks disaster is a heart-rending saga that rocked the Netherlands. It was a peaceful Saturday morning. Residents were going about their usual weekend activities, unaware of the catastrophe that was about to unfold. The SE Fireworks Depot was an illegally operated establishment tucked away in a residential area of Enschede. But within its walls, it held a lethal amount of fireworks, approximately 177 tons, far exceeding safety regulations. Can you imagine what's going to happen? At around 3 p.m., a small fire was reported at the depot. Firefighters were promptly dispatched, but the scale of the fire soon escalated beyond control. Unaware of the impending danger, residents gathered to watch firefighters tackle the blaze. A massive explosion ripped through the area, followed shortly by another huge blast. The force was so intense that it was felt up to 30 kilometers away. The destruction left a landscape that looked more like a war zone than a quiet Dutch city. Picture your home and your car all obliterated within seconds. How would you cope? Amid this devastation, stories of heroism emerged. Among them is the tale of a brave policeman who risked everything to save several lives. Officer Peter had been working as an agent for 4 years and was on desk duty. 2 elderly ladies reported the theft of plants from their front yard. Shortly, a report came in of a fire in Roombeek. Peter's shift was over, yet, hearing the blast and seeing the smoke, he instinctively drove towards the danger. Was he expecting some action after his office day? 2 houses were on fire, caused by fireworks from the factory in the middle of the neighborhood. Peter and his colleague extinguished the flames with a bucket of water and a garden hose. But how could those fireworks have gone off? Peter unsuspectingly looked at the factory, where everything was under control. To be on the safe side, the police were tasked with cordoning off the area around the factory. If the emergency services had to pull out, they would at least have quick access. You cannot believe how this all quickly turned into a nightmare. Peter explained. The first explosion was devastating. It was dark in one fell swoop. Then came the second huge explosion. The pressure against his body was indescribable as it pushed him out of the street. Before Peter could comprehend the seriousness, he heard, "Peter, help me!" It was a woman with whom he had a chat as an agent. She had fallen over all the bikes and was sprawled out on the ground with her son in her arms. Peter didn't hesitate for a second, helped them up, and led them to a nearby house to take shelter. Wasn't it brave? Sadly, it didn't turn out to be safe. The house was already on fire, and the residents panicked to extinguish the flames. Without thinking, he ordered the woman and her child to lie on the floor. Following a kind of primal instinct, he lay over them, under the windowsill of the living room window. Things got more devastating after the second explosion. The house Peter and other police officers were lying against had been completely blown away. Only the wall they were up against was still standing. Did you know the explosion caused 22 deaths and injured 974 others? 500 homes were destroyed and 1,500 buildings were subsequently damaged. Isn't it massive? Make sure to hit the bell button to get notified about the latest updates regarding these disasters. Are you curious how Peter saved the young lady and her son? What was the aftermath of this terrible disaster? Keep watching to find out. Peter crawled out from under the rubble. No house was left on the ground except some of those on fire. The thick smoke made it difficult to see and analyze the situation. He took the child in his arms and shouted for the women to follow him. Just tripping over a fence, Peter was hit by a firework projectile. Upon regaining consciousness, he knocked out the fire with his bare hands. Peter gathered civilians and made their teams to lead as many people as possible out of the disaster area. Isn't that heroic in the chaos? They got further away from the fireworks factory and reached a lawn. For a moment, Peter felt safe until he saw the same women asking desperately, "Where is my child?" He completely collapsed, overwhelmed by a devastating sense of guilt. Peter then realized, I have to go back. I need to find him. I have to make up for my mistake. I have to go back to hell. He left the place with a group of civilians searching for that boy. It seemed impossible as the conflagration had now reached the street. Driven by guilt, Peter tried to make up for his mistake by saving as many other people as possible during his search. He pulled people out of burning houses and lifted victims to relatively safe places until his colleagues picked him off. Peter was walking blackened and bloodied, with torn clothes and scorched hair. They took him to the hospital, despite he kept asking them for the child. Peter was told about his house, destroyed by the explosions. The weight of losing the child overshadowed everything. The only thing that haunted his mind was, oh God, I had lost a child. But destiny had one more twist. What can it be? It was a call to meet the Queen and the Prime Minister. Peter broke. Tears rolled down his cheeks as he was guilty. The Queen said, "Look at what you have done. How many people you have saved. You are a hero." Peter didn't get her until he returned to the police station. It was the unexpected reunion at the police station with the lost boy safe and sound. The brave policeman embraced him and danced around the police station, roaring joyfully. The boy looked startled. He must have thought, who is this crazy man? Keep us posted in the comment section below if you enjoyed our content. We would love to hear from you. Until next time.